Ready? I'm Jay the Welder from Clearwater, Florida, and today we're talking about my TC Propress fittings. So what is a TC Propress fitting? So let's first go over, we're doing a recap on this, and we're going to disclose my new TC Propress fitting. So let's take a look at what a TC fitting is. Okay, so here is a TC fitting. This is a dairy sanitary TC fitting. This is a welded dairy sanitary TC fitting. And in the brewery industry, we use welded dairy sanitary TC fittings. So here's an application where you can see TC fittings and the triclover clamps that actually hold the TC fittings together. So here we have a valve. This is a butterfly valve. You can see the obstruction inside the port. And then over here we have a TC clamp. There is a 90 and a T. So those are dairy sanitary fittings, and we use those in the brewing industry, and they work great, and they're awesome, and they're easy to clean, and we can do caustic loops on them and clean out the inside of the pipes and completely be totally dairy sanitary. But we have other type of piping in our brewery, and that type of piping that we use sometimes is copper, and sometimes we use other type of piping too, like polypropylene, and there's PVC piping. There's all types of piping in your brewery. So going back to copper, I've noticed since I've been building breweries for the last 25 years, all over America, a lot of people and entrepreneurs and brewery owners have been building their infrastructure with copper piping. Well, as time goes by and I've been working with these new TC Propress fittings, I found a very unique use for these and a cost savings for the designing of your brewery using TC Propress tubing and TC Propress fittings. So Viega Propress piping and Viega stainless steel fittings. So let's take a look at my new TC Propress fitting. So right here, this is my TC Propress fitting, and you can see it's got a gasket inside there, and in here you can see here is a 45 degree TC or 45 degree Propress fitting, and it's just slid on this pipe. It's not crimped yet. So what you do is you slide the piping on, you lock it in place, you crimp it, and you set it and forget it. So here is my new TC Propress 90. So here's the Propress side of it, and here's the dairy sanitary TC side of it. Okay, so what I've done here is I've merged the two pipings together, and we created the TC Propress fitting. So why would you want to use the TC Propress fitting? Well, so we can use stainless steel piping on our cold liquor and our hot liquor to our heat exchangers and stuff like that, through our loops and stuff like that. It makes it very efficient to put the piping in, and once it's in, you can do a calcium clean on it, and you can run chemicals through it, and you don't have to have that problem with having some type of something going wrong, like when you use copper, you can't really necessarily do a chemical clean with it. So lately, I've been using my TC Propress fittings, and we've been using dairy sanitary butterfly valves. But I've noticed since I've been using these things and putting them in our infrastructure, I'm switching over to using Viega valves, which are giant ball valves, and they have a full port. So let's take a look at one. So this is a Viega ball valve. It's a full port. This is 1.5 inches, and you notice it's bolted together, and you can actually disassemble this and pull the gasket out and replace it, and you can replace the valve and just keep the flanges right in place when it's Propressed in place. So that has the ability to still change out the valve, even though it's locked in place in the piping. But you just take them bolts out, and you can replace the valve and repair it. The option is, what's so great about it is a full port, and there's no obstruction inside the piping. That way there's no loss of head pressure or flow. So the energy going through your piping is 100% from the tank to the pump. There's no obstruction, so you don't have no, like the ball valves will have the this little butterfly inside here, or the butterfly valves will have this little obstruction in here. And over time, that creates turbulence and starts piling up against the gasket, and that's where your gasket starts deteriorating. Where here in the Viega Propress, you can see that the gasket is really tucked up inside there. You can see it right there. Okay, so that's going to give you a longevity in your valve, and probably not going to be going back and repairing it anytime soon. So that's something I wanted to do a recap and actually show off my new TC Propress 90 fitting, and I'm hoping that, you know, once time goes by, more people will actually start using these TC Propress fittings and build their brewery. You know, having stainless steel in your brewery is just the way to go, and it just looks awesome. It performs great. You can clean it, and it's just a no-brainer. Okay, so I'm Jay the Welder, and thanks a lot for watching, and brew on. Looks great.